This is the CPO Science Crazy Chromosomes setup and how to use them. CPO Science Crazy Chromosomes are a functional model of chromosomes and how they work and how heredity works. For this set, it actually is connected. It can be used in conjunction with the Crazy Trait set. In fact, we designed these chromosomes to go with the crazy creature, but you can also do many activities without the Crazy Trait set. But I'm going to show you today how to use them in conjunction with the Crazy Trait set, because it's a really good model for connecting how chromosomes, genes, and traits and phenotypes are all connected, and then how the whole process of meiosis and fertilization work, and how you get variety in organisms. So what I'm going to do now is go through the parts of the crazy chromosomes. And basically, the crazy chromosomes consist of a bunch of segments of DNA called genes that you then use to build chromosomes. But before we get to those, I want to show you there are some whole chromosomes here that we call sex chromosomes. And the sex chromosomes determine the gender of the creature. And so this is a male creature. So males have an X chromosome, and that's what the X chromosome looks like in the crazy trait set, or the crazy chromosome set. And here's what the Y looks like. And actually, there's a little notch on these two that you'll notice that you can actually connect one of the genes to it in case you want to do some activities on sex-linked traits. So those are the sex chromosomes. Now, the genes come in different colors. And each color, if you're using it in conjunction with the crazy trait set, each color is designed to match one of the parts of the crazy creature. So they're easy to figure out which ones go with which. So for example, these are the red gene segments. And the red gene segments go with the hands, which are also red. Now I want to go through what else you'll notice on these. You'll see that on one side there's a letter, and some of them have a capital letter T, and others have a lowercase t. And these signify the allele, which is a form of a gene. So all the alleles we're working with in this set, each gene has two possible alleles. It has capital T allele and a lowercase t allele. And in some traits we call it the dominant and recessive alleles. So that's what the letters on those stand for. And each one we use a letter T for all of them, because the crazy trait set actually uses T for all of its alleles. But the colors signify which trait each gene goes with. If you flip over on the other side of each gene segment, you're going to see a double helix. And this is to make the connection between genes and DNA. And so each gene is a segment of DNA. And then when you actually put these together, the kids not only build chromosomes, which are segments of genes, but they also can see that a chromosome is a molecule of DNA as well. So it makes a connection between chromosomes, genes, DNA, and then genotype, phenotype, and all the stuff associated with heredity, all of the terminology. So let's go through some of the other ones. You'll see light blue ones, and those actually go with the foot. So these are the genes for the type of foot. Black is actually, we have a black segment. Those actually for the skin color. Now the skin color, there's three possible skin colors on the crazy creature. So we use black because there's different combinations. This would be an example of incomplete dominance, where if you had a big one and a little letter together, you would have a different skin color. So we use black to signify that. For the tail, you'll see we use the identical color of gene for the tail. So it's easy for kids to see which genes code for which trait. And the other piece you have in here are these clamps, and they actually are models of centromeres. Centromeres connect two homologous chromosomes together before the process of meiosis happens. And I'm going to actually walk you through this. You'll see how these things work. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is build the chromosomes for this creature here. Now, this creature, we're just going to assume that he is heterozygous for all traits. And this is a male. You can tell by the body orientation. When kids have used the crazy trait set, they'll know this is a male by the body orientation. And they may have built this creature before, because the first activity in one of the crazy traits activities is where they build a creature that's heterozygous for all traits. In other words, it's going to have a segment with a capital T and a lowercase t for all traits. And that's what this organism is. This is the phenotype of that organism. So we're going to build this organism's chromosome set. Now, crazy creatures have 3 pairs of chromosomes for a total of 6 chromosomes. And so some of the traits are found on one of the chromosome pairs and another is found on another pair. And then you have the sex chromosomes. So this is a male. So let's choose our sex chromosomes. Males have an X and a Y. So this organism has an X and Y. And now we're going to build the second chromosome pair. So this will be our first chromosome pair. And our second chromosome pair, on that chromosome, it's going to have skin color, leg, foot, arms, and hands on one chromosome. So since this organism is heterozygous for all traits, we're going to choose a black for the skin color. We're going to choose a black gene with a capital T. And then we're going to choose a black gene with a lowercase t. So the first chromosome and its pair, one's going to have the big T and the other's going to have the little t in black. Okay? Now for the leg, that's light purple. Let's take a gene with a capital T and a gene with a lowercase t. And let's snap these together. So we're going to keep all, we could actually mix them up. So we're going to keep them all, they snap together like so. You can see there's a little peg in one, slips into a notch in another. And they attach like that. Next we'll choose the light blue for the foot. So we're going to need a big T and a little t. Put that one on. Then white, which is for arms. You can see our chromosomes growing. And red for hands. Okay, so this is the second chromosome pair for this creature. Okay, let's build the third. The third has eye color, so yellow is the gene for eye color. So let's grab a little t and a big T. Okay. And then we need purple for eyebrows, dark purple. And you can see they match the eyebrow color. So let's attach those together. And then orange for the beak. Matches. And gray for the ears. As you can see, that's a close match. Green for the antenna. Dark blue for the antenna shape. As you can see, we have a knob shape up here. And yellow-green is for the tail. And the wings, which there are no wings on this creature, but the wings are actually pink. But if you have a certain combination of alleles, you're not going to have wings. So this heterozygous, the combination of a dominant and recessive in this organism, results in no wings. But they still carry the alleles for them. So that's kind of one of the nice things about this model too, that they can see that even though the creature doesn't have wings, they carry alleles for wings. So they could have wings if they get 2 dominant alleles. So it really connects the idea of genes, phenotypes, genotypes, and also chromosomes. So this is our crazy creature's set of chromosomes. See, chromosome pair 1 is the sex chromosomes. Chromosome pair 2 carries genes for skin color, leg, foot, arms, and hands. And then chromosome pair 3 carries genes for eye color, eyebrows, beak, ears, antenna shape, tail, and wings. Now what you can do if you're not going to use this with the crazy traits, you can actually build any configuration of chromosomes you want. per any organism. And you could even have the kids make up their own organisms and their own numbers of chromosomes with these. So it's very flexible how you use it.